The following production is intended for entertainment purposes only. We are not legal professionals. We do not speak for any government agency, and the opinions expressed here are our own. Relax.
Recording is in progress. You know what else is in progress?
These right
Those shades.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Are those some? Are those Roblox?
No,
Or
you know what?
Or I almost feel like they're X-ray vision, and I kind of feel a little bit weird with you looking through the screen here.
Well, you just better be glad the camera's placed where it is. Not like it has been, where you got the laid back view.
No, man, I'm actually if I'm gonna be real honest,
Uh-huh.
I'm jealous of how people wear sunglasses because like I wouldn't have the confidence to to pull something like that off. But all you got to do is just do it.
Yeah,
That's
and
all. That's all it takes.
pretend like you're not doing it.
Exactly. Just own it.
Yeah.
That's literally anything you want. Because it's kind of the same as. I mean, I've been accused of being a hipster before. Okay.
Yeah, I can see that.
In fact, you may have accused me of that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I dig the rolling up of the jeans and just looking cool, right? I can't do it because I feel like people are gonna be like, okay, look at that fucking poser. Yeah, nice rolled up jeans, pal.
Yeah. That's very interesting. We went to a Zach Bryan
Oh
concert.
yeah. How was
I'm
it?
just I'm just gonna dive right in.
Dive in, brother.
We went to a Zach Bryan concert. Oh, wait a second. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lawless with Justin and Clayton.
Yes.
We went to a Zach Bryan on Saturday, Zach Bryan concert, and it was a great concert. I'm not going to say anything bad about it. I feel like I was going in with a little too high expectations because my last real big concert was March 2019 in Wichita, and that was Metallica. And it's impossible.
I think I worked that concert. I'm pretty sure
I
I did.
think you did. I think
that
we
was a
talked
good
about
show. Yeah.
it. It was amazing. It was and they had like 3 hours of bangers. Like it was not a 1 hour show. It was 3 hours or more because there was an encore. And
not to mention just the production value, like the fire and like the screens and everything.
Yes.
I would say they're probably, I mean, I've been to a bunch of concerts. They're probably some of the highest production value.
Well, I'm biased because I am a lifelong Metallica fan, but it was the best concert I've ever been to. Like it was an experience I think I'm going to remember forever. And I plan on going to more, and I went to one other when I was younger. But anyway, I had that expectation going into the Zach Bryan concert because I love Zach Bryan, and I've been, lightly obsessed with him for 5 years. He's definitely the best, I would say, country artist today, like active country artist.
Who introduced you to him? Just out of curiosity. Do you remember?
I'm gonna tell you what you want to hear, and I'm gonna say that it was you because you shared.
No. I'm just looking for truth.
But I think that's the first. I want to say I saw that video because you shared a video. Is it a group text with me and a couple other cops? You shared a video of I think the video that made him famous, Heading South.
You might say that I made him famous because I shared that video several times.
You definitely helped. I thought I'd seen that video before, but I can't remember seeing that video before.
Yeah. You probably hadn't, but that's fine. Okay, so you were expecting like maybe not obviously not Metallica, but like you were expecting a big
damn good show.
Okay.
Now, see, that's different. That's different because this is by far the biggest show I've ever been to. This was at the Mercedes-Benz Arena in downtown Atlanta.
Okay.
It's where the Atlanta Falcons play.
Okay.
And I don't know the exact number of seats, but I can tell you just from sitting there, it's about 2 interest. It's an interest with another interest stacked on top of it.
Okay.
It's 3, maybe 4 big rows of seats,
Okay.
like 4 big sections, and the complete floor, like half of the floor was seated area, and then half of the floor was kind of like pit, I guess you could say, just standing and walking around.
Yeah.
And it was to the
Like a mosh
gills.
pit.
Yeah,
Or they
like
have,
a mosh
folks
pit.
moshing at Zach Bryan.
They were definitely jumping around.
Yeah.
Well, so I come there and I know exactly what I'm gonna wear. Ashley is obsessed, probably for days, but definitely the day of. She spent the entire day getting ready. Like she spent the entire day getting dressed and doing her hair and doing her makeup. And I knew exactly what I was gonna wear. I was gonna wear a t-shirt, some blue jeans, my shit kicking cowboy boots, and a cowboy hat. And she was like, "Don't you want to dress up?" I was like, "Babe, this is what cowboys wear. Real cowboys. This is what."
And I'm a real cowboy.
Yeah, obviously, I'm I'm the expert around here. I know what fucking cowboys wear. This is what cowboys wear.
Because I am one.
um, I took that persona. So just like these glasses and even this shirt, Ashley loves it when I wear this shirt because this is kind of my vibe.
Oh yeah. I didn't notice that. That's like a Western fleece kind of.
Yeah,
Okay.
Southwestern, I'd say a slight Native American motif, which is cowboy. Like cowboy
Yes.
is a little Native American.
Sure.
Um, so I went in there wearing that, and I put on an unbuttoned button-up shirt over it just to make her feel better, showing that I'm putting in some effort.
And just to show that you know how to party.
Yeah,
Like I can
yeah,
dress up. I got the button shirt, but it's unbuttoned.
yeah. Um, there's parts of the story I'm gonna leave out.
Okay.
But anyway, I show up there and then I see people who I can clearly tell are from Georgia. And it's gonna sound like I'm throwing shade. I ain't throwing shade, but I grew up in East Tennessee from 13 to 18. And the South is really cool, but the South is not the West. It's definitely not, like Southerners are not cowboys. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Being
Yeah.
being South is cool. Like you got plenty of cred. But like I said, being Southerner and being cowboys, two different things. There is some overlap, and maybe you can be both, I imagine. But it's two distinct things. I show up there wearing my get up
Okay.
and feeling just as cool as a clam, like I'm natural. I'm in my skin. Well, then I see thousands of redneck North Georgia. I say that with affection. Redneck North Georgia, ghetto boys and ghetto girls dressing like they're from Austin or dressing like they're from, Tulsa, Oklahoma or from Wichita. I'm like, I was offended. I was like, this is not yours. This is
Quit
slightly
appropriating my culture.
you are appropriating my culture. Well, I was in the mood, and sometimes I get like this. A lot. I'm trying to get this way a lot less more often, but I was in the mood to let my opinions be known very loudly. And I was doing that. And I was like, you're not a cowboy. You're not a cowboy. You're not a cowboy. And walking around Mercedes-Benz Theater doing that.
Like, were you actually telling people this?
Yeah, and pointing my finger at them and saying, "You're not a cowboy. You're not a cowboy. You're not a cowboy." There's some embarrassing. Go ahead.
What was the general response to that?
Laughs or pretend like they didn't see me. Pretend
Okay.
like I would get in their face, not in their face. Like I wouldn't encroach in their personal space, but I would get in their line of sight and be like, "You're not a cowboy," and I would just like keep it going. I would
Yeah.
try to not give them enough time to reply, but usually it was just like a look of disbelief.
And you're wearing your cowboy hat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
What
wearing my
did
coat.
what did Ashley appreciate that?
Mm-mm, mm-mm. No.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's weird. I'm like, babe, you want a cowboy? Here's a cowboy. You want
Who else is gonna tell her that these aren't real cowboys if not for you?
this is an interesting thought, and maybe we should come back to uh slightly self-destructive tendencies that I've always had of social anxiety, of causing and almost seeking social anxiety, or like social,
Yeah, kind of like
you
the
know what I mean?
chaos we've talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That gets me going. It gets my gears going. I was in the bathroom, like after the concert, it's concert line, and this is double interest, like I say, comparatively. So just imagine double the lines that are like after the show lets out. And this I'm in the threshold. Like I've waited long enough. I'm now in the threshold. I around the corners where the action is happening. I'm almost there. And this fella just walks by all the line, and he keeps saying that as he's walking past everyone, it's okay, I'm looking for someone. It's okay, I'm looking for someone. And I put my hand on his chest. I said, no, you're not. And he was like, I'm looking for someone. And I said, are they over the age of 18? And he said, yeah. I said, then get in the fucking line. And everyone's like, ho, 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 ho. Everybody turns into Santa Claus. Like, ho,
Yeah.
ho, 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 ho. I'm like, ho, ho, you. I said, I'm in line. I waited in this line. I'm looking for something too. I'm looking for the urinal. He's looking for something. Unless it's a minor, he can get his ass in line. And so he turned around and got his ass in line. And yeah, I I don't know where I'm going with that, but
Well, let me
I
ask
was
you this.
on one.
Um, um, so the Zach Bryan crowd, and I want to ask about the concert itself because I love Zach Bryan, and man, this dude, I don't know if he freaking sold his soul to the devil or what, but it seems like he's dropping these banger gets overused, but he's dropping these songs like left and right. Like
Yeah.
every other week, he's got a new song that's not. I mean, they're good songs, but so what I found working a lot of concerts because I worked for years. I worked most of the main concerts at Interest, from all across the board. But what's really interesting is one week we had a metal show. We had 3 concerts that week. One of them that I remember was a metal show, and then there was a country concert. Now, it wasn't metal. I shouldn't say that. It was hard rock. Five Finger Death Punch. Who sucks? They're garbage. Absolute trash music. But
I tried to like a few of their songs, but I
dude,
just couldn't.
I mean, they're very supportive of law enforcement
And military.
whatever. Yeah. So, but they're just not my style.
Sure.
What was interesting though is the crowd. The crowd for the Five Finger Death Punch concert was just a rough looking crowd, right? And the band themselves are pretty rough looking. But the lead singer is on stage and he's talking about like sobriety, and he's talking about like how long he's been free from drugs and alcohol and stuff, and everybody's cheering, and it's interesting. Well, the next night, or it might have been a couple nights later, there's a country concert, and it's sponsored by some type of whiskey. I don't know what it is. And the entire thing, like the entire show, was devoted to getting as trashed as you could get. Like he's chugging drinks on stage, and he's throwing drinks out, and like there are people, like it's just a given. You just know that at a country concert, you're going to have more fights, you're going to have more drunks, you're going to have more people passing out. It's just going to be a shit show. But outside of that concert, they'd be completely opposite. You'd see the cowboy and think, oh, this guy's he's a productive member of society. He's got his shit together.
Yeah.
And then you see the Five Finger Death Punch guy and his safety pins or whatever bullshit he's wearing. And you're like, yeah, that guy's probably doesn't have a lot going on. But he is practicing
He's the nice
sobriety.
guy.
And this guy is getting tanked as soon as he gets home or as soon as he goes out.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that. I felt surprised. I've heard that before. I felt surprised, but that makes a lot of sense. As we were walking in to the Zach Bryan concert, he had already had a few openers, and I'm sure they're great, but I had never heard of them, so I didn't care about his openers. He had a few openers. As we were walking in, there was a guy, and kind of my same getup, but his own version. He was being escorted out of the arena in a wheelchair by two. He had a security guard on each end and a lady security guard pushing him and another security guard in front of him, like parting the sea.
Yeah.
And when we got up to him, he was in the point where like, okay, it's time to walk on your own now. And he was like trying to put the brakes on and step out. And he was clearly blacked out drunk. Like,
Yeah.
and Zach Bryan hadn't even come on yet. And
Dude, yeah. There, I don't know how much the Zach Bryan tickets were, but there have been multiple times, working a big concert, whether it's Metallica or whoever, where people are spending over $100 for their tickets.
yeah.
And we escorted them out before the main, like what you're saying, before the main act.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, what a waste. But even if you don't get kicked out, like, you're not going to remember the show tomorrow. The only thing you're going to remember tomorrow is feeling like you got run over a truck. Which, we've talked about it before. Right? It's no judgment. It just sucks. That's not the way.
Yeah. It does overshadow the entire experience. Yeah. That sucks.
Was the concert itself good though? Like, did he play his hits or did he play stuff that you weren't familiar with?
There were a couple songs. Well, and this is no slight on him. There were a couple songs that he played, and the crowd sang to every single word of every single song. I was gonna say that's the difference between Zach Bryan and a lot of the new music, especially country music, is what makes Zach Bryan so good is that 100% of his lyrics you can tell are real. Like, those are real. Those are very relatable. Versus some Nashville machine, vending machine song that it seems like most of the other, and even with artists, I guess I don't, not that I can't, but I guess I don't want to name some artists. There are some modern country artists that I do not like. Like, can't stand. I guess we already named some of them before.
You can name names.
Okay, Florida Georgia Line, Morgan Wallen.
So Florida Georgia Line that's what I picture when you talk about the crowd. Like, is that kind of okay?
That's what they that's what they were. And like curly they were wearing curly cowboy boots because they thought it looked cool. I'm like, you guys don't even know where curly cowboy boots come from, homie. Like, I've seen the hombres that wear them things for real.
Yeah.
Zach Bryan is just, he's 100% more relatable. And another thing, I've never seen him. There might be some pictures out there, but I've never seen him in a cowboy hat. Like, he was an AO, an aviation ordnanceman in the Navy. He got popular while he was in the Navy, and then got out. I've never seen him in a cowboy hat. He's going bald right here, just like I am. He's got thinning hair. He wears jean jackets, maybe cowboy boots. I don't know. I don't really pay attention, but I know he's not like the stereotypical Western fella, like Morgan Wallen or Luke Combs or whatever his name is, the big one. He is a disappointment.
So I'm super judgmental about music. You probably know this about me, but and I'm super critical of who I would consider bullshit artists, like Rascal Flatts or who's the guy that was on The
Garth
Voice?
Brooks.
Not Garth Brooks. He's the Godfather. Who's the guy that was on The Voice? Blake Shelton. Just crap. But here's what I think: a lot of bands, a lot of singers get involved in these record contracts where they're contractually obligated to put out a certain number of albums, a certain number of songs, even like songs that their label tells them to record or that somebody else writes or whatever. And so like this was big back in the boy band era, where you and three other buddies are, you have a band, you have a group, you sign to a label, and now they tell you what you're going to wear and what you're going to sing and how you're going to present yourself. And so it's possible that these guys aren't just giant douchebags. Um, highly unlikely. I mean, I do
Maybe they
think,
didn't start out that way.
yeah, maybe they're just fulfilling their contractual obligations. I don't know.
And like Blake Shelton's a good example. I feel like I would really get along with him. Like he seems like a very nice, personable fella from the way he talks on The Voice or yeah, The Voice and other shows. Like he seems like really nice, but his music is just dog shit.
It's just
I
garbage.
I feel the same way about Morgan Wallen. Um, my wife thinks he's red dirt country. I'm like, no, he is not anything red dirt country. He calls himself outlaw, but he's not outlaw either. I don't know. He's
Yeah.
just Nashville. He's just Nashville stuff.
I don't I don't think I've heard a single song of his.
He's got a new one out with Post Malone, and I watched the video.
Jiminy Christmas. Does everybody have a song do you have a song with Post Malone?
Uh, I mean, that's another thing. I vibe with Post Malone. Like his interview with Joe Rogan, or I guess his interviews, and like when he came up, um, when I got my first big load, he had that song Congratulations. I don't expect you to know it, but he
Yeah.
has a song called Congratulations, and I had that mother on repeat for weeks after I got my first load because like congratulations. um his music is just dog poo poo.
Yeah.
He has a song with Morgan Wallen that I bet you've heard of, or it's definitely in the area. I've had some help, or I had some help. I had some help. Boo, 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 I'm on myself. Yeah,
Is that how it goes?
yeah. That's word
Uh,
for word.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah,
Um,
look it up.
you know what I think? I think one of the things that separates Zach Bryan from others, and he really reminds me a lot of Jason Isbell. Well, I used to love Jason Isbell um, until I I followed him on Twitter, and this has been the case for a lot of celebrities that I used to like, and I followed them on social media, and I'm like, no, they're just assholes.
Yeah,
Like they can sing and they write good stories, but outside of that, I don't. I would rather not interact with them,
mm,
or see the way they treat people or their opinions. Like
yeah,
so it kind of ruined it for me. But still, um, they have similar writing styles where you just feel like, man, this guy knows what he's talking about.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So the personality and the music don't always vibe because, like I said, I would. I think me and Post Malone could be related. Like we could
Yeah,
be family members.
but
But
but he's a guy that he's got a good voice. But at some point, somebody, maybe it was the record label, or maybe it was just him, who knows, was like, hey, you should get a bunch of tattoos on your face. And I'm
uh,
like, okay. And now it seems like that's almost the equivalent of the record label saying, you're going to sing these songs, you're going to dress this way. Well, now you're going to get these tattoos on your face. Jelly
yeah.
Roll and Post Malone and whoever else.
Okay, Jelly Roll's interesting because he walks that line. He kind of walks a razor's edge because he is popular in Nashville and he hasn't always been, but he is popular in Nashville. He's winning CMA awards. Um but I would consider him kind of outlaw. He's not really red dirt, but he's friends with red dirt. He's red dirt adjacent. And
Um, I I didn't know that. So I would recognize a couple titles of his songs.
yeah,
I don't know that I've listened to him, but I would have thought that he was more like soul
Nashville.
or art. No, I would. We're
Oh,
talking Jelly Roll, right?
yeah.
I wouldn't have thought he had anything to do with country.
He won Country Artist of the Year last year.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, yeah, I had no idea.
I know that from social media. I didn't watch the awards. I don't
Yeah,
I don't watch hardly any news. I'm not as bad as you, where like I don't know when presidential debates are on.
I mean, who cares?
Yeah. I'm kind of feeling like that now too. I feel like I definitely feel like maybe everyone feels like the tide has turned a little bit from some momentum, even from just a couple weeks ago. Some momentum tide has turned, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna steal this entire election just like they did before.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's rigged. I don't care.
yeah.
I'm just gonna look out for myself. I am a proprietor, or I'm a provider of good hip hop music to you and to some other people, and
Oh
I
yeah.
always I
Oh yeah.
love dropping some bombs on you guys.
Um, so I was listening to that one. I
Yeah,
actually listened to that one that you sent me.
pistol
And
packing.
yeah, yeah. NLE Choppa is actually an artist I'm familiar with.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. My kids listen to him, which probably doesn't speak well of me or my parenting.
I think that means you're rad.
Well, maybe. Um, it was all right. Yeah, I didn't mind it. I do like I don't necessarily mind the violence. Um, but I just can't get behind.
I didn't pick up on a lot of violence in that song.
No, what did you think he was when he says he's pistol packing?
Oh, I mean, that's not violent. That's like
Okay,
carrying your wallet.
yeah, yeah. I just in general with gangster rap, I don't mind the violence. I don't mind the drugs. I just get so sick of hearing about the sex and the bitches and all that kind of stuff. Like um, it's it's not appealing to me. Um, but there are some artists that are more like what would you call it? Like I think it's conscious rap is kind of
Yeah.
what it's termed as.
Oh, is that
Because
the depression rap, Kid Cudi?
yeah, man.
I hate that.
Actually, I don't know if he's one of them, but like
He is.
uh extent x xx extension, he was pretty good. He's dead. And now this is kind of interesting. Um a lot of the artists that my kids listen to, maybe not a lot, but there's a handful from a specific era that were young, that were good, that have all overdosed on fentanyl and they're dead.
Oh,
So you've
really?
got XXXTentacion, Juice World, I think Mac Miller, maybe. There's three or four of them that they're all kind of the same sound, and they were really good. I enjoy them, but yeah, they all there's I don't know if it's still happening, but there seems to have been a um, kind of a cycle of that style of musician overdosing on fentanyl.
Well, rest in peace to those fellas. I think I've heard of Mac Miller, but the others I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Um, the reason that I think hip hop is so phenomenal, especially that style of hip hop, like I'm the shit hip hop, is because there is nothing like that. And I say this just from my view, obviously, but I was never exposed to anything like that except from hip hop. Like in growing up in Oklahoma City, and Oklahoma City is a lot more diverse than Wichita, but growing up in Oklahoma City, I was it was very culturally diverse in the country and even in Metallica, like the metal and the pop stuff. There were some good tunes, maybe, here or there. Like I love Metallica and I love some country stuff, but they never had that. I'm from the started from the bottom. Now I'm here.
So I've got to pause you real quick.
That's fine.
So the place where I'm doing this podcast is the Fun House in Wichita,
Oh,
3656 Southwest Street for all of your what would you call it? If you have an event and you need a space, this is the place. Well, there's a baby. There's a baby here that's the freaking. He doesn't stay here, like his mom brings him, like he lives at home. But
okay.
sometimes he's here, and right now he's here, and he's the freaking coolest baby in the world. He's my pal. He's even maybe dressed even a little nicer than you.
Okay. Well,
Maybe.
yeah.
Look at this guy.
Okay.
Is he not the coolest? Yeah, he knows he's the coolest. He could probably give us some. He could probably give us his opinion on the best gangster rap on the market right now.
Yeah. I'd listen to it. I mean, he wouldn't be as right as me, but I'd still listen to his opinion.
But I mean, he probably would have his. I would put as much stock in his opinion on music as I would maybe a little bit less than yours.
Okay. Well, kind of hurts my feelings, but yeah.
No shade, no shade.
What did you were never a big hip hop guy? At least I didn't get that from when I worked with you.
No, I mean when I was probably whenever Regulate came out, Warren G, like probably 90,
Regulators.
yeah, probably like 93 or 94 maybe.
Oh yeah.
I was kind of into it then, but I've always been more of a hard rock metal guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Um I mean, do you pick up on the like I told my son Caleb when he was like 12 and 13, I actually told him to start listening to hip hop because I thought it would be better for his self-esteem, better for his self-image if he started listening to hip hop.
So that I think that's what you were saying earlier. Like hip hop has that kind of like is that what you were saying? Like you don't get that in rock, you don't get that in country, like
No.
that I'm the
Yeah.
man, like yeah. But I don't like that either though.
What do you
And I
mean you
think
don't like that?
I mean it's just bullshit.
What?
Like music videos and like I'm the blah 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 bullshit. No, you're not. If you were, then you wouldn't be, first off, if you did those things, you'd be in prison or you'd just be a terrible person. But it's fake money. You don't own that car. All this money you're throwing around is prop money. Like the whole thing. I would rather, and this probably goes back to we
The
talked
listeners
about.
can't see this. I have a shocked and offended face right now.
Well, I know we talked about like I'm not going to bring this conversation into the depths of the depths of despair like I'm prone to do. But I would much rather somebody like Jason Isbell or Zach Bryan sing about something that's real than some guy called Two Chains the Plug or whatever his stupid name is, sing about how he's the king of such and such and he's got so many hoes and he's got shut up. It's not
Big X
true.
doesn't do that. He doesn't sing about hoes.
I'm pretty sure I heard bitches and hoes in that song.
You are projecting, my friend.
I'll just look at the lyrics.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this old school camp evangelist style where did you ever have that at church where they're like
Yeah, dude.
they're reading how terrible it is and you're like, man, I love this song.
My
That's a
brothers
great one.
my brother stopped going to our church whenever we had we would call them revivals. We had a tent revival guy come and he read the lyrics to some Metallica songs that weren't even bad.
Yeah.
And that's when my brother stopped coming.
That was always so at our camp. It was always on Thursdays. They called it the Christian Life Seminar, where they told you to quit doing the bad stuff you're doing.
Yeah. Fuck those guys.
But okay, so here are the lyrics to Pistol Packin'.
Uh-huh.
Pistol Packin'. Should I rap them?
Yeah. Or you can do whatever feels natural.
Okay, well let's just Pistol Packin', never slacking, bitch, killer, killer.
Right?
Pistol Packin', never slacking, bitch smacking, killer. 28 shit. Pistol Packin',
okay.
never slacking.
Pause.
Bitch, killer,
Pause.
killer.
That bitch that he's saying in there has nothing to do with women. That is not a woman. That's you're maybe a little sexist just to assume that.
Two things I never seen. I'm not sure what this is because it's edited out. Named Bigfoot and a hoe I need. Parentheses, hoe I need.
Yeah, I don't need anything.
Okay.
That has nothing to do with women. I don't need anything.
Fuck a classy bitch. I want a ratchet bitch. Give me
Hell
a
yeah.
city girl period.
I want I want someone who's real, someone who's open with me. I don't want someone who's fake.
Guns
I love these.
clapping. I'm not going to say this next one.
Donald Trump already said it.
Yeah, I already said it.
Something grabbing.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure what this means. My bitch like you, like a Blackwood. Did you know your name's in the song?
Is it? That's a misprint. He's
Your
supposed to be saying backwoods.
Backwood. Okay. Sometimes I wonder if
I think those are AI generated.
yeah. Your hoe like a swisher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's loose and everyone's in there. Yeah, dude. Keep going. I'm not finding a problem with these lyrics. I got good stuff. You got bad stuff.
With
Have
this
you ever heard
chopper,
of
I shoot
positive
like I'm Kobe.
manifestations?
So I don't know. So if you don't know me, it's best to keep walking.
Right.
If you trolling, 600 in my hood and I control it, you ain't no. Shut up.
I got a 600
Just
big
shut
block
up.
in that hood.
Just shut up. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage.
What is garbage about that?
The
He's
words.
speaking positive things into his life. He's putting it out there into the universe, homie. You're right. He's speaking things that are not as though they are. Okay? Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, okay. Well, when he manifests himself in prison, I don't want to see everybody talking about free whoever this stupid guy is. Free big X the plug. Like, no, bro, you manifested that. That's what you want. That's what you wanted. That's what you got. Enjoy it.
What about those lyrics are even potentially criminal? Go ahead, go back to them. Fucking nerd.
I mean, who bitch killer, I assume. Like,
do you understand that being a killer is not violent? I'm killing this. I'm killing it. I'm a killer. I'm killing it. I'm killing this rap game. I'm killing this dope game. I'm killing it at life.
let me know when you're done. I'll put these back on.
Go ahead.
Yeah, anyway, I don't remember where we got off on that. But I do like summer rap. Like in fact, one of our very, very first episodes, I attributed a song to somebody to a wrong artist. And thankfully nobody has watched or listened to those that I know of. So it's just between you and me.
Okay.
But no, there's some good rap, just not very much.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, agree to disagree. As long as you can agree that you're wrong.
Not on this one.
Okay. Do you see the vehicle that he's using, right? He is saying that I'm cool. I'm, maybe we can lay off the words or whatever. I don't really care. But he's saying I'm cool, you're not. That's what he's saying, and he's not even dissing anyone specifically. He's just saying I'm cool, I'm good, I'm big, I'm strong.
Yeah, but maybe and maybe it probably has to do with just my own deficiencies, but like I just don't like that. I don't like people like that.
I'd agree with you.
If about my deficiencies, if you knew somebody like that, like in real life, and maybe you do, I've known people like that, and I just like, okay, yeah, man, you're the coolest.
Oh no, you have to understand. Here's the deal too. I know plenty of people like that. Maybe they believe that stuff about themselves, and maybe they don't. These guys have all the same self-esteem and self-worth issues that we're battling.
Yeah.
But it's also a very different culture,
Yeah.
Not even get into that, but they have all the same self-esteem issues that everyone has. They're just approaching it in a different way that vibes with them. Like for me personally, obviously not you, but I would think everybody, when I listen to that song, it is impossible for me to not smile. It is impossible for me to not turn it up unless I got children in the vehicle with me. And sometimes
And then you
they're
just got to
just,
crank it louder.
yeah, sometimes they're just a casualty.
They got to learn the words. They gotta understand the lingo.
Yeah.
Um,
That's that music is
I,
powerful.
I do think though that I think you can talk about it culturally because it's not necessarily attributed to race because uh, there are white artists or
Yeah.
there's different
Sure.
different races that still have like it's more the mind the hip hop mindset is what you're
Yeah.
talking about. And so
Yeah.
I get that. It just rings to me it just seems phony and for whatever reason
But
and this is
Tupac did the same stuff, and you like Tupac.
yeah, I mean I like some of the songs but you're right he did the same thing where he's talking about like I'm the man I'm the blah 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 and I just have a real an appetite for truth and a distaste for bullshit even if it's even though I know that it's like it's an act it's entertainment
Yeah.
it's um that's what it is it's entertainment and it's kind of the same thing as like Alice Cooper on the opposite extreme you got Alice Cooper who or Marilyn Manson's a better example like chances are real good that
Heard
he's
plenty of sermons against him. A lot.
man Sweet Dreams the
Oh,
best cover ever but you've got this guy who's playing a character he's playing a role he probably doesn't really think that he is these things it's just what that's like it's just the character that he plays and so maybe these guys are doing the same thing maybe they're like
yeah.
yeah I know I'm not the king of whatever block he's talking about but yeah I am
Uh,
when I put this mask on or I am when I step in front of the microphone maybe that's it.
I mean, it's the same reason the guitar is extra distorted at a concert and the bass is extra cranked up because whatever you're selling, you want it to be on a scale of 1 to 10, you want it to be at 100. And that's what these guys are doing. Like you're right, they're not these things yet. Maybe, whatever, I don't know. But they're not most of them are definitely not these things yet, but they are giving you a bigger picture. They're just doing it in a way that doesn't resonate with you specifically, but
Right.
they're amping up their thing like I think everybody does.
That's all I want is for everyone to resonate with me.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well,
Like I don't feel like that's too much to
you're
ask.
not asking much, right? Just
Just
for the world to
just for
cater
the
to you.
world to cater to my every need and win.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's it.
So if we can manage that. Um so man, I'm cutting this really short. Um
That's
I'm
fine.
gonna
This is a good one.
yeah. Okay. Well, do you want to I think we should stay on Friday. Like I think this should be a bonus.
How long is this? Has this been like 40 minutes? I don't see a timer.
I don't see a timer.
Oh well.
But probably yeah, we probably start at 11:45,
Okay.
12:25 now. So
Yeah.
we can either keep this as a one-off little short thing, or we can combine it with one Friday. Um, but I do think if you're
Oh, did you
available,
send me that other little one? We recorded another little one a week or so ago or 2 weeks ago that I didn't post. It was
uh,
like a little 30-minute one.
I don't know if I did, but I will if I
But
didn't.
do you know the one I'm talking about?
I
It was
think
on a Friday and uh you had something. Oh no, it was the day you were changing brakes. So it was maybe a month ago.
did I not send that to you? I'll check. If I didn't, I will.
Okay. Yeah, it was the little bitty one.
Okay. All right. Well, are you good for Friday
Yeah.
for another one?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Let's do it.
All right, homie.
All right, bro. See ya.
Later.